I'm tossing the rules out the window today. It's time for sparkles and sequins on a man's card. Hi, it's Therese from Lost in Paper, and I am excited to be back for another video sharing some WOW products. I'm their creative guest this month, and today I decided to make a men's 50th birthday card, and I thought it'd be a lot of fun to add some sparkles and some sequins. I know you probably think I'm mad, but seriously, it can be done. I've die cut the number 50 from some black cardstock, and now I'm using it's the WOW Ultra Slow Drying Embossing Ink, and I'm stamping the Altenew pinstripe background over top of the 50. I have attached it, the word, it's not a word, well, word 50 is a word, but this is the number. I have attached it to a piece of scrap cardstock just to give me a handle. And I'm having a little bit, see, look, I'm smudging the ink here. I was having a bad stamping day today. But anyway, I got there in the end. I'll show you how to get around that shortly. But I have some of the matte. This is the clear matte dull. So it gives you a matte finish after you've embossed it. But before I hit it with my heat tool, I'm going to remove some of the embossing powder that I got everywhere when I slipped with my cardstock when I was picking it up. And it's much easier to remove the embossing powder when it's dry than to try and remove it after, but it can be done. You can actually use a craft knife to scratch it away after you've embossed it. You just have to be very gentle, but if you see it before you emboss, much easier. And this just gives me a tone on tone sort of look and a real subtle effect to the 50. It gives a really fine pinstripe on the 50. I thought it was really it added another detail to the card because it's a very clean and simple card today. I've die cut the number 50 again, and this time I've got it in some fun foam, and I've left it in place while I've added some matte medium, and then I can just adhere my die cut numbers directly on top. I just find that helps because the fun foam can be shifted out of shape when you run it through your die cutting machine. It just helps keep it in shape. And I've got a piece of 80-pound Neenah cardstock here, and I'm actually adding my embossing ink directly to the front of the card, just off the embossing pad. I'm being very abstract here, and I've got this embossing powder. Oh my, look at it. Look at the glitter in there. It's called Midas Touch, and I've just created a real rough background as quickly as this. Like, all I have to do now is hit it with my heat tool. I am actually coming from beneath the cardstock to heat emboss this powder because it's full of sparkle and chunky glitter. It's like a real fine chunky glitter though, and if I hit it from the top, it would have just blown those glitter flakes away. So by hitting it from underneath, although it is pretty hard for me to see because I'm on camera here, but I could just watch the powder melting from top and then just move my heat gun around till the whole area was melted and embossed. It's just glorious, this stuff. Now I'm adding that directly to the front of a top fold card, and then I can use my matte medium to add the numbers directly to the front of the embossed panel. Because it's embossed, I want to make sure that these numbers aren't going to shift, and I know that for me liquid glues seem to have a stronger hold in a situation like this, so I will always head for a liquid glue, whichever one's your favorite. I like the matte medium, mostly I reach for that one. I've got a couple of others that I'm trying out at the moment, and then I'm popping up a speech bubble sentiment. And I have cut this speech bubble. It's one of the Penny Black chat bubbles, and I'd stamped a sentiment from the Everyday Punnies. It's an Ellen Hutson set, and then I've added some clear sparkling sequins and just using my matte medium again to hold them in place. And I just wasn't liking the way that the white sentiment looked, so I thought, well, I'm just going to try it, see how it looks if I do a dark grey version. So this is how I stamped out my first sentiment. I actually have the dark grey cardstock cut within the speech bubble. Because it's a solid speech bubble, it's hard to see. This is just a cheaty way of doing it to make sure I get my sentiment in the right place. I could do it the other way, where I stick the die cut negative over top and cut it out that way, but that's just with the stamp positioning tool, a really great way of lining up your sentiments or images if it's a solid die cut. And I actually use the opaque bright white superfine embossing powder, and I liked this sentiment much better with the dark grey. What do you reckon? Do you think the white looked better? Oh, I didn't like it at all. But I'd be interested to know if you liked the white. Let me know in the comments below. I'll be back again real soon. I've got heaps going on at my blog at the moment. And if you like this video, please click on the thumbs up button. And if you haven't already, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll see you back here real soon. Till then, happy paper crafting. Bye.